We are following those historic Supreme Court cases that could determine the future of transgender athletes. So let's bring in Montana's Republican Attorney General Austin Knudsen. He is backing West Virginia and Idaho and opposing the participation of transgender individuals in girls and women's sports. So thank you for coming on the show. I want to start big picture. I know you've been listening to the arguments. What has stood out to you so far?
Well, what stood out to me, I mean, obviously we're seeing some tough questions from Justice Sotomayor, from some of the more liberal members of the court. Not surprising. I think we're seeing some good questions from some of the other members as well. But I mean, these are the kind of cases that you're going to get tough questions like that. But we've got a couple of really good solicitors in there who are well prepared and I think are making good arguments.
Your state, Montana, currently bans transgender youth from playing on school sports teams that align with their gender identity. So how many transgender athletes do you believe are in Montana right now? And is this a widespread issue, or has it been magnified at all because it's a political flashpoint?
Well, I mean, I think that's an issue that likes to get thrown at us, but actually we were the first in the country to have an NCAA athlete actually take a position from a female athlete. But a transgender that came into one of our university systems. So this does happen. It's not something that's just remote. We have seen this numerous times in Montana. But look, big picture, we've got over 1,500 competitions that have been taken away from girls, over 850 medals that have been taken away from women and females. So this isn't something that's just remote, that doesn't happen. We know this happens. We've got documented cases of it in Montana and Idaho and West Virginia and all the states.
So one of the plaintiffs, Becky Pepper Jackson, who was assigned male at birth, transitioned in 3rd grade. She says that because she takes puberty blocking medication, she has not gone through typical male puberty and does not have the muscle mass, bone density, or hormone levels of boys. So what do you say to the argument that the circuit upheld that it would be unfair for female transgender athletes who don't go through hormone treatment to play on boys' teams?
Well, biology still matters. I mean, you can take all the puberty blockers and all the hormones you want. It doesn't change the fact that you've got a set of chromosomes, and you do have, in a lot of cases, you do have a biological advantage over a lot of female athletes. Wolf, I've got a 14-year-old daughter. She's 5'4". She loves playing basketball. She loves playing volleyball. She's 5'4" and 120 pounds. If a 15-year-old boy who's 6'1" and 190 pounds comes onto her team and decides he wants to play with her, I've got a problem with that. That's going to be unfair to her. It could be unsafe for her in a lot of those physical contact sports. And it's just fundamentally unfair to her ability, or any female athlete's ability, to be successful. Biology is the thing. Again, I don't care how many hormone blockers you take, biology is going to play a role in athletics.
I want to lay out some of the facts here that we pulled. So you have the president of the NCAA that testified in December 2024 that he was aware of, quote, less than 10 transgender athletes out of the sports governing bodies, more than 500,000 total athletes. So that's not even 1%. In West Virginia, there is only one known openly transgender athlete. That is one of the plaintiffs in this case. And according to a 2025 estimate from the research organization, the Williams Institute says approximately 1% of the U.S. population age 13 and older identify as transgender. So when you and others on the other side of this issue talk about fairness, do you have any concerns about unfairness to this very small group of people? We heard that play out a little bit in the arguments we heard earlier.
Well, we want fairness for everybody, but I'm going to flip this on you. I mean, to your point, it's such a small minority. They're the ones who brought these lawsuits. They're the ones that chose to come into federal court.
Because of the bans.
But these plaintiffs chose to file suit and bring these cases before us, and that's the reason we're in front of the U.S. Supreme Court now. So again, I think this is a matter of fairness, and that's exactly what Title IX is about. Title IX is about protecting fairness for women, for girls, in educational settings, and that applies to sports as well. And so I think the idea that you've got this very, very small minority that we've decided somehow that their feelings are more important than the safety and fairness for women and females is a real problem.
I know you're a parent of 3 kids. Do you think you would feel any differently about this issue if you had a transgender child who simply wanted to participate in sports just like friends?
No, I don't have that. No, I don't have that concern. I'd be looking at this the exact same way. I mean, regardless of how my child would identify, we'd be looking at the biology. Like, if you're a boy, you're going to play in boy sports. If you're a girl, you're going to play in girl sports. That's what we've done in this country as a status quo for, heaven knows how many generations now. This is a relatively new thing. I think the court's going to look at this there, and they're going to find that that's the case.
Are you willing to consider or at least sympathize with the position of these athletes who are transgender, who worry that their rights are undermined if the courts side against them, and that they just, this is what their belief, right? You see Becky Pepper Jackson, she's a plaintiff from West Virginia, and she's concerned that her rights are being violated by not being allowed to play on the girls' sports team.
I don't see it that way at all. I think that's an individual who's looking for special treatment. That individual wants to play sports. There's an avenue for that individual to play sports, and it's going to be defined by your biological sex. I think that's the right, that's the fair, that's the safe way to do this. That's the way that we ensure that women and girls continue to have a level playing field in athletics, whether it's at the collegiate level or whether it's the high school level, like my 14-year-old daughter playing volleyball. That's what this is about. This is about fairness, and this is about not elevating one small group of people because they want to feel special. That's really what this is about.
So you don't consider transgender girls girls?
I do not. No, I don't. No, I think biological sex is what defines you as a person. That's my opinion. I know
Even if they've gone through all that transition?
No. No, I don't.
Which justices are you watching most closely in today's arguments, and what is your message to them?
I don't have a message for the justices. I'm no constitutional scholar, but I've been I've been to the Supreme Court a few times. It's always interesting to hear what Justice Kagan has to say. I mean, she's incredibly bright. She's an incredibly thoughtful justice. I think she always asks really tough questions. That's always stimulating and fun to watch. Obviously, we're watching what Justice Gorsuch has to say following Title VII and Bostock. I think that's going to be a really interesting point of contention for these discussions today.
So what's your prediction at the end of June, let's say, when they come up with their decision? What do you think it'll be?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd like to see a unanimous 9-0 decision. Again, I'm no constitutional expert. I don't claim to be, but I think this is going to be controversial. I'm not holding out any hope that we're going to get a unanimous decision, but I do think the court's going to get this one right. I think they're going to overturn the Ninth Circuit, and they're going to rule in our favor.
You're the Attorney General of Montana, Austin Knudsen. Thanks very much for coming in. Appreciate it very much, and we'll continue our conversation down the road.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And a House committee is launching contempt proceedings now against Bill Clinton